What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video, we are going to be talking about the Neo Geo Mini and what it is a month later. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it! Okay, so if you are a fan of this channel, you have probably seen that I have actually reviewed the Neo Geo Mini. Before, when it first got released, I unboxed it and kind of told you my thoughts. And so this is kind of a follow-up video a month later about this little bitty arcade cabinet. So I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about it, talk about kind of what it is and what it is now being a month later and being able to own this and play it. So I have a portable battery here so I can power this bad boy, and I have my cell phone so I can talk about some of the games on this list and kind of let you guys know what I think about it and make sure I don't forget anything in this. Now, we're going to talk about this first. You got the console here. Nothing too crazy. If you haven't seen the new video about the unboxing, I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about it. It has a 3.5-inch LCD screen. It's got sound coming out of it. It's got the A, B, C, D buttons, your start select, your joysticks, which doesn't click. That's a big no-no there. You got a controller port on one side, controller port on the other, and then on the back you have the power button, you have HDMI out, you have DC in, and then you have the headphone jack, which is pretty nice. This thing looks really good. It's definitely a high quality feel and mold. Whenever you pick up something that's plastic like this, you can instantly tell by the weight and kind of how it feels that, hey, this isn't a cheap plastic that maybe we would have seen if AT Games would have done that. Yes, that was a dig at AT Games because they always make crappy systems. But this thing is the real deal. It looks great. If you own an NES or an SNES Classic, you know what it feels like to have something that is made by Nintendo that's really solid and has great craftsmanship. And I think SNK and Neo Geo did a great job on this, and this thing is pretty awesome. I'm going to show you some footage of me playing and show you what this thing looks like during this talk, during this video. I am very excited about this, but let's talk about some great games that are on it. Now I'm going to start going down the lists per se, so I can tell you what I think about each one of these games and how much fun I've had playing them. Now the first two is 3 Count Bout and Art of Fighting, which are both good fighters. Now I have both of these games for the MVS, so I haven't actually played them much on here. I played them just a little bit just to have some fun with it, just to test it out and see how it worked. But those are actually both great games. Then you have Blazing Star, which if you haven't played it, you definitely need to check that out. Playing that on this is really awesome. I enjoy it a lot. This is something that really is pretty cool. Now the next one is Cross Swords, and I will have to say I have not played it actually. I've never played it at all, not even on this system. So I'm definitely ready to dig into it with this system on the go, being portable with my portable battery, and the cord for it, I can just take it, plug it into the battery and take it anywhere, which is really awesome. Then you have Fatal Fury Special, which is yet again another great fighter. I love this game. It's a very good game for this system. Now I know there's a huge list of fighters for this thing, but if you think about it, that's what SNK and Neo Geo is really known for. They're solidified in the fighter system because you take this, you play these games to fight, whether it's by yourself or with other players. It's totally awesome. Next we have Football Frenzy, which is a football game. Nothing special there. It's an arcade football game pretty much. Then you have Goro Mark of the Wolves, which I have not played whatsoever, so I cannot tell you anything about that, but I definitely need to dig into it. Then we have Ghost Pilots, which is yet another fun game that I'm glad that is on this system. I didn't quite think that it would come to this, but I'm pretty happy it did. Then you have King of Monsters 1 and 2, which is yet again great games. This thing is packed with great games, and I'm not going to go through everything just because of time and whatnot, but I'm just going to hit some good ones. You got Last Resort there. You got Metal Slug 1 through 5 and X, which if you haven't played any of the Metal Slug games, this is a really great chance to play it. But also there is the Metal Slug Anthology, which is cheaper if you get it for like the Wii or whatever else it came on. I think this is a really great system, and it pays its money back for those 6 Metal Slug games. Then we have some puzzle game, Fatal Fury Real Bout. Then you have some Samurai Showdown games, which is awesome. You got Samurai Showdown 2, 4, and 5 Special, which is all great. Samurai Showdown games are definitely fun. Then we have Sengoku 3, which I've never actually played the third one. I've played the other 2, but this is definitely a chance to be able to play that because I don't have it on my MVS. Then you got Shock Troopers and Shock Troopers Second Squad, which is both great games. You guys definitely need to check it out. And then kind of to wrap it all up, you've got 5 King of Fighters games, which is pretty insane. You got 95, 97, 98, 2000, and 2002, which are, again, fighter games that are just fun to play. If you ever sit down and play through fighters, this system would be great for you because there's so much stacked against you if you are a lover of fighters. So that is one thing that I love about this. If you're a big hardcore fighter player, this thing is actually pretty sweet because if you don't have the money to go out and pay for all these games, let it be King of Fighters, Last Blade 2, Fatal Fury, King of Monsters, you've got Art of Fighting, you got all those fighter games. I had to look down to make sure I didn't forget very many. But there's a bunch of fighters on this. If you haven't noticed it before, I keep saying fighters because that's what I think this system really is perfected around. If you love those kind of games, this is definitely where it's at. Also, I myself love Metal Slug. Metal Slug is probably up there in my top 10 game franchise series, whatever you want to call them, because it's so much fun to just be able to sit down and play Metal Slug, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or X. All of those are really awesome. Now, I do have Metal Slug, the original, on the MVS, but I doubt that I'll get any of the others just because they're so expensive, and I got this awesome thing now. Now, the cool thing is I can plug this up to my TV and play it and capture footage and all that, which makes it really awesome because if I wanted to review one of these games, I've got it here and I can just plug it in and go and have great high quality footage captured, and I won't have to mess with bringing my console out, which it's an MVS that's been consoleized. I won't have to bring that out, plug it into my computer, and make sure it gets alright graphics. I think this is going to be definite for those people that do play these games but also like to capture them. This is a great way to do that. With that being said, I really enjoyed this. Now, I know that a lot of people have been dogging this and have been talking bad about it, but to be honest, this is the console I would want. Now, don't get me wrong, I would like the clickiness of that joystick and the other controllers, which I haven't bought yet. I may go out and buy them. I'm kind of on the fence about that right now. Just because I don't know what else I would use them for, so I'm kind of questioning it. But definitely this thing is where it is at. At only $100, you are getting 40 games, and they're good games at that. You're not just getting crappy lists, which I'm very thankful for, because with the PS1 Classic coming out, I just feel like that thing is going to be overpriced and the games are just going to be alright, whereas when I see this thing, I look down that list, I see nothing but great games and games that I know I will play, unlike games on the PS1 Classic that I may play once or twice, but I'll never revisit them. These games I will revisit and have a ton of fun with. Now, that was what I thought about this 1 month after it was released. I have been seeing a bunch of bad reviews and people just saying negative things about this system. I think that is because people want one thing that will do exactly what they need, and this just is something that's different for a lot of gamers. I feel like maybe they haven't either stepped in the Neo Geo phase, or they just are too far into it that they're like, oh, those are all games I already own, I don't need them. I could understand that, that's cool, but those people that just never played it, I think they might be missing out on what some of these great games are. So that's why I'm giving this such a positive light, because I think this thing definitely has been kind of dragged through the mud. It's much better than people are making it out to be, so I wanted you guys to know what I thought. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not sponsored by SNK or Neo Geo at all. This has nothing to do with them. This is just my love for the system. So if you guys have seen this system before, or if you own one, or if you don't own one, please comment below and let me know, what do you think about this? Because this is one of those things that I've seen so much negative and not much positive about. So let me know what you think, please, because I would love to know if you guys hate this thing or if you guys love it like I do. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Big Cartel, Patreon. All that stuff is down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. But most importantly, have a good day.